folks, welcome back to another episode of Our Journeys. That's right, we're continuing the Our Journey series for now. I've decided that I will once again take to the battlefield at some point, but it is not this day. For I've decided that it is worth my time and worth my endeavor, my effort to continue to try to refine and hone in on the discipline needed to maintain a perky attitude whilst suffering the indignities and injustices of the latter. But I'm not there right now. Right now, things are a little chaotic. I'm gonna have to get some videos done early because I'll be out of town for a little bit, and so I just need to push on through, keep my energy up, and the best way to do that is to just indulge in the sweet pastime. The reason why I started the channel to begin with, well, kind of, sort of. I mean, I started it because there was a dearth of TESL content out there. I'm not saying that nobody was doing it, but a lot of folks had kind of just stopped or were doing it occasionally. At the time, I think the only one that I knew about with any regularity was Wargerburger. I can't remember, and that's not in disrespect to his name. But I think maybe his screen name was Wargerburger, but then his actual channel was, I don't know. But anyway, he was doing it with relative frequency, but then I think, just life, he had to do life things, and or my back to school or something, and so he wasn't really doing it that much anymore. And so I was thirsty for content, but it wasn't there. So I was like, fine, I'll do it. At least, even if I'm watching myself play, I guess it counts. So anyway, all that to say, I'm kind of getting back to the root of it, which is just a beautiful arc, a beautiful poetic tale of starting a channel and doing this for want of being able to watch good games and good players play on the regular. And through it, I have now ultimately been able to be in a position where I can watch it and then provide that for you all to see too. So it's a big happy fate. But we are watching Ametista Dorata, the Golden Amethyst. Trying to ward off the final assault of Brian 91763. Could be an area code. What's the 90210? 90210. Yeah, I guess it could be a thing. That's the California area code of some kind that they named a show after. Ostensibly because it takes place or presumably because it takes place in that zip code, or it's supposed to take place. It probably wasn't shot in that zip code, but maybe it was, since it is California. It very well could have been. Hang on a second. Okay, yeah, it's a darn refrigerator. Sorry, I have a sound suppressor on the sound suppressor. I don't know if that's the right word. A sound gate on the microphone through the interface that cuts off sounds at a certain decibel level. But when I talk, it opens up the gate so that you can actually hear me. And so then I'm able to hear any ambient noise. And so I hear this little buzzing and I'm like, is that my microphone going bad? What's going on? And it's a refrigerator. The refrigerator has this annoying buzz and it's right behind me. So every time I talk, I hear it. Now you probably can't hear it, thankfully, but I can hear it. And so it's not as important, but it is nerve-wracking because microphones can be expensive and you don't want your microphone just kind of going out on you. And I need to know that once I move into different circumstances, I won't be bothered by this annoying little me. See how annoying that is? Me. But anywho, looks like Ametista is able to dig his heels in, as Telvanni does, at that magical 10 Magicka point. It's after that second to last rune gets broken, somewhere between, I would say, 12 and 7 is the most common range. You get Telvanni down there, you haven't won. You have not won. You need to get Telvanni, well, to 0. Any deck you need to get him down to 0. And this, I think Brian is we're going to see a concession at him pretty soon, because with that amulet down there, which I do believe means I can't read this book. I'm a skull with no arms. I can't open this damn book. I'm trying to read through osmosis, but it's not working. I think that's what that phrase is saying. It's just like sitting there going, I really wish I could open this doggone book. Speaking of which, I read a book for the first time in like a bazillion years, no exaggeration. And it is crazy, folks. I used to be a voracious reader, and granted, some of it has to do with my eyes. As you get older, your eyes get more rigid, and I don't need reading glasses at this point, but reading for long periods of time had kind of become more difficult. I used to, if I found a good book that I liked, I would read it for 12, 13 hours, and I would read until like 2 or 3 in the morning when my eyes just got so dry I literally could not keep them open. And then I knew if I just went to sleep, I could wake up in the morning and continue reading. Unless it was a school night, those were always harder. It was always harder for me to stop on a school night because I knew that I was going to have to wake up and go to school instead of staying in this fantastical universe that I was in. But yeah, Brian is on his last legs here. And like I said, I would expect to see a concede efficiency here as Telvanni has increased in power. That's kind of like an unofficial rule for me. If I'm out of cards and my control opponent now has more health than I do, the battle's over. There is no coming back from that. I don't think. Maybe there is. Maybe some of you folks have had that experience where you've been able to. There we go. Damn, I love it when I'm right. It happens like once every 25 episodes, so just let me have it. All right. Body bag Beezy. All right. Arrakis. We haven't seen Arrakis in a while. I'm not avoiding body bag. I just, he doesn't mind.
Nobody breaks the law on my watch.
You as well, Amethyst. Staying regular. So, two Phos against Arrakis. NPO, non-profit organization, the same group as Dano and Eros. So, but yeah, it's been a while. You see he's in the tower. He's a climber. You can see he's got the top 10 card back. Oh, sorry. No. I meant it's good to see you mixing it up on the regular. Yeah, exactly, Arrakis. I know. I was just saying that. It's been months, I think. Yeah, it's been a while. Arrakis used to be a regular. I mean, if you watch some of the older videos, we'd usually have at least one to 3 games with Arrakis, but just haven't seen him in a while. We may get an explanation. We may not. Like I said, when it's just as a reminder, unofficial rules. It's not something I have to live by, but typically I try to avoid chatting during the game. If I can work it in between turns, I will. But typically, if you reach out to me while I'm recording, I may not respond, only because I'm trying to keep the game as unobscured for other folks as possible. And I'm also not going to reach out to you. There are a lot of times where I'll have a question. I'll be like, I wonder why our friend is doing this. But I won't reach out just because I'm trying to allow them to stay as focused on the game as possible. Because it is not like if we do a spotlight or something where they know we're going to it, where the premise of the video is that they're going to be sharing their wisdom or their understanding or why they're making certain plays, then it's fine. But if they give me the honor and privilege of spectating, I don't want to encroach on their the concentration, because speaking from experience, having to talk and play at the same time can be tricky. A lot of folks have done it well. I think pretty much everybody we've done a spotlight with, Inu, Brave, Eros, Kevin Eisenfaust, and there's several more. All of them have done a really good job, I thought, of playing while also answering what were some hard-hitting, fundamental journalist, questions. Much better than I would. My turn timer would just be expiring the entire time. Like you'd see like 2 plays the entire time. When I first start, I'd open up because the first play is usually pretty darn easy, and then I would answer all the questions really well, and my playing would just go to pot. The last question would be, so why is it you suck so bad? I'm like, because I'm trying to talk at the same time, and I'm not very good at both. And while some people may see that as a very subtle nod or excuse for why my play is garbage when I'm on the ladder and doing a video. Well, you're right. That's exactly why. It's because I'm talking at the same time. No, it's not it. Because I don't multitask very well. I don't have really divided attention. Something will have my full attention, and the other thing gets autopilot. And fortunately for me, like when it comes to driving, if I'm in a car, driving has my full attention. There is nothing else that has my attention. So if I take a phone call, I don't text, but if I take a phone call sometimes, the conversation is going to suck because I'm focused on the road and not thinking about the conversation. I'm responding. Usually it's because I'm like, hey, where are we meeting again? It's something that has to do with why I'm driving in the first place. Most of the time I'll just let it go to voicemail because there's, as they say, there's few conversations you can have that are going to be more important than having full attention on the road. So I definitely don't endorse it, but when it does happen, it's like, just tell me what I need to know and I'm going to get off the phone. But don't think we're going to have a conversation. I mean, there have been times where I've been driving through like Kansas and there's nothing going on. I'm on cruise control. The road is empty. I'm going through absolutely, nothing at all. I'm still not a great conversationalist because I'm still focused on the road. But anyway, exactly. There we go. Amethyst is saying, so I was telling him, I'm glad that to see he's been on here on the regular. And so it's been nice to see that. And he says, always trying to push his boundaries and experiment, always something new or trying to get outside of his comfort zone. As you've seen, there's a way to play Telvanni in a clever type of control without toxic or broken cards. Exactly. And we need to see more of this. Hey, Ross loves, let's spell it this way, loves Spy Master. Hey, Ross, if you're watching, you know I love you. Let's see. All right. All right. So we are going to take again. Oh, Ed Morn. Well, he's in casual. We're not opposed to casual, but if there are folks mixing it up in the thick of combat, we try to Dragon Invader. That's been a while. So we will take a gander at Dragon Invader. Am I, by the way. I will answer Arrakis after. Okay. Well, that was fast and furious. We got Ugnipped. We just got Ugnipped right there. I love the fact that I'm making up our own lexicon here. Hanging tough. Settling into a long-term state of unsettlement. But I'm good. How about you? Keeping busy? Let's see, what do we see here? Yes, indeed. And I thought it might Oak Tusk. Hail, friend. Holy cow. All right. Well, okay. I will say this. If Body Bag loses this one, I will never spectate again, believing rightly, I think, that my spectating is what led him to defeat, because you cannot have this board and this situation.
By the Lord, Mother,
oh no, he's gonna get health. He's gonna crush his Black Hand Messengers and his 3/2 and gain a crap ton of health here. Don't know if it'll be enough. Not really. It's not gonna be enough to kill that lane. He's still gonna win this, but I mean, he has no. I mean, he's making it go up. Well, actually, no. He is right now. He is surviving as it stands. No, he's not. No, he's not, because he's going to gain health. Body Bag. Body Bag is going to have exact lethal. He's going to gain. He'll have just enough once he strikes. No, Body Bag, you went the wrong way. You went the wrong way. He got bigger. Oh, you're going to steal the charger? I guess. Okay, he did it flashy flash. He knew what he was doing. So we're gonna tell him he's welcome, because clearly he won that because we spectated. the powers of spectation. Brought you the victory. Alrighty, so we're gonna take another look at, looks like Arrakis back in the mix, so let's go ahead and take a gander. Dusong, I'm seeing a moon gate in his hand, and that doesn't belong to Arrakis, so I thought I recognize the name Dusong. But again, once again, I've said it before. I'm gonna do it now that I've got another monitor. I can do this. I'm gonna start making a list, like Santa Claus, naughty and nice, so that when we see opponent's name, because the community is just getting. I mean, I'm not saying it's getting smaller and smaller, but it's getting tighter knit. Just even if there's the same amount of players, the fact that we're seeing them more often means the community is getting tighter in terms of familiar face, as it were. So I want to have some context going into these things. So if they play invade, they get a naughty. If they rope, they get 2 naughties, or a naughty with like a frowny face or something. And if they're just a player and they just play well and they do their thing and win or lose, it does its thing, then we just give it a nice. What was that, Buddy Baggies? Okay, he's gonna try to counter my claim that he won because of me. If he didn't pop in last minute, he might have OTK'd my 79 health the next turn. Thank the Lord. Darn right. Exactly. So he's being sarcastic. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, yeah, that's why I said if it did happen, if somehow his opponent rallied from that situation that we saw there, which, I mean, in theory, might have been able to happen. I really didn't know what his opponent was playing, but if he had been able to pivot, I would have slinked away and ne'er spectated a game again, just because that would have just been an asinine coincidence. Because clearly, I mean, to be fair, really though, folks, I mean, there's a reason when people talk about quote unquote clutch players, like in basketball or football, it's being able to thrive when the pressure is on, and in theory, knowing somebody is spectating you, because you can see that little icon down there, knowing that somebody is spectating you could impact your decision. You feel that, there's a little whoosh, there's elevated heart rate, there's a little something. Even if none of those symptoms manifest, and you're used to having people spectate you, there is a possibility for it to impact you psychologically in a way that could adversely affect the outcome of the game. So, I mean, it is a thing. There's a reason why there are players who thrive under pressure and those who crumble and those who just kind of stay the same. I would like to think I more or less stay the same, but I probably am one of those people. Well, it depends. If I'm prepared and I have the confidence of preparedness, then I'm usually good under pressure, like for performances, like stage productions and everything. I know my lines. We've rehearsed it. I'm confident in the performance. So when I take to the stage, I still get the butterflies, I still get the jitters, but I can perform and do very well. And in fact, especially if the performance invites energy from the audience, if it's a comedy or if it's just a high energy where people are clapping along with music or they're excited, or you can just tell that you can feel the energy of the audience, I do much better. When it's more somber play, haven't really done a lot of those, but if it's a more somber play, more measured, like your classic Shakespeare stuff that aren't the comedies, your Hamlets and things like that. I think it's a little harder to feel that energy from the audience, just because it's not as tangible. But all that to say, in those situations, when I'm confident, when I'm prepared, I can step up. But that's not, well, in theory, if you're good at your sport, you can have that same thing. If you know you're practiced and you're good, you're one of the best, and you know who you are, and you're confident in your abilities, you can also thrive. But there are plenty of, basketball players, football players, like you are the best in the country. Like nobody's on that team because they suck. But still, some of them do not perform well under pressure. But that to say, nicely done, Arrakis. I might ping him here for a quick second. We'll give him a GG, and then Where is he? Where is he? Lots of potential with programming. You thinking games or something big picture? I mean, games are obviously the sexiest thing. Like, you know, that's what I would, if I was gonna get into programming, I would want to do it for games. But Amarillo, hey, and it actually worked. As I was clicking on, I was like, every time I've clicked on Amarillo, or Amarillo, the game's over, or you know, he's not actually online. But this case, not only is it online, but we're getting the very start of the game. So good stuff. And it looks like Onslaught Battle Mage. I don't know if that's a real thing. I'm calling Onslaught because it's not Burn. It's like Burn Assassin or Burn Mage, which Burn Battle Mage, is that a thing? I guess it could be, kind of. But I call it Onslaught because it's relentless, because there's a relentless raider, therefore it makes it relentlessly. And Onslaught is just a cool word. There's a comic book character called Onslaught. Ooh, and I have a feeling the little 4-1 is going to go bye-bye. Bye-bye. The question is, does Amarillo trade to get that 3-2 before? He does not. Okay, that works.
My last battlefield.
Well, you took a long time to say that. Oh gosh. So, I mean, I guess this is kind of Burn Assassin. Possibly. Oh my gosh, Ice Storm? Okay, maybe I was a bit mistaken. Maybe this is mid-range. I don't know. I don't know, folks. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's working. And we see he's got Satanine there to buff up any creature that survives whatever Hist Frog is going to do. Can't trade with the Orc clan captain, as he is obscured in the shadows.
Child's play.
I mean, he might have a lightning bolt that he's going to use on the 7-4, which will be a bit of a pain. But with that, Satanine and the Steel Scimitar, Amarillo is going to see that's 6. Okay, so nope, he is going to take out probably the 4-2. Let's see. So that's going to be 10, 11, 12. Oh, yeah, he's got lethal. So, yeah, that probably was more or less Burn Assassin. I say was because Amarillo, I think, has this well in hand with... Because I think the Satanine is a 3, right? Yeah, 3 steel plus 5, 12, 13, 14. It's donezo. But, of course, the trend has always been to defy Schward and his dynamic... play calling. So, but well done, Amarillo. Well done. AG. Good to see you on the ladder again, my friend. It has been a while. He actually even helped with the Discord server. Beaterus. The man who has given us the man of 1,000 shouts. Amarillo, yes, sir. Yeah, Amarillo was instrumental in helping to make the server what it is, Discord what it is. He offered his services. I didn't know jack diddly squat about it. And he offered his services, and so it has a lot more functionality now than it did when I first started it. And Beaterus, with a win, the man of 1,000 shouts is what we shall call him. This episode is sponsored in small part by Legendary Remnant Discord. If you want to talk about all things Legends, good, bad, and ugly, if you want to talk about deck ideas, deck concepts, and concept cards like the one you're about to see here, come to the Discord. There's a lot of folks here that have great feedback, great ideas, and great things to talk about, just great personalities in general. Great stuff. Anyway, the true sponsor of this video is Stop Pop, the nonprofit organization that reminds you to stop putting pineapple on pizza. Just kidding. I mean, you really should stop putting pineapple on pizza. But the actual sponsor of this video is Beaterus, who is bringing us another one of his Amazing additions to the Shout package. This one is a modification of Drain Vitality. This is a Shout that many of you know already exists, but here is his take on it. It is now a 3-cost action, as it already is. It is given enemy creature -3/-3. Shout level 2, give an enemy creature -3/-3, repeat again. So give 2 enemy creatures -3/-3, and the last one is give 3 enemy creature. Well, okay, so actually, no, that's not the heart of the card. That is not the spirit of the card. The card is give an enemy creature -3/-3, repeat this 3 times. So again, it can be a stacked thing. You can do -3/-3 to 3 different creatures. You can do it to 2 creatures and then essentially do -6/-6 to one of the creatures, -3/-3. The possibilities, they're not endless, but there are essentially 3 of them. You can either do the damage to 3 creatures or all 9 damage to 1 if you so desire at level 3, which is different from Drain Vitality as it stands now. Oh, I never used this card. I never used Drain Vitality myself. Let me double check. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Let's see. I think it's a 1-drop, right? This is embarrassing. I apologize, folks. But again, I don't use this card. Yeah, it's a 1-cost. Yeah. So right now it is a 1-cost, -1/-1. Level 2, still 1. It remains as a 1-cost. Level 2 is -2/-2 to 1 creature. And then level 3 is -2/-2 to all creatures in a lane, which is a nice nerf from what it was, which was a 1-cost that on the third try, or if you leveled it up to its third level, it was a -2/-2 to the entire board, which I personally thought was, I don't know if too many people thought that was balanced. I thought that was really ridiculous for a 1-cost, especially because there are things like word walls that can allow you to upgrade. You could essentially do -4/-4 to an opponent's entire board. And it's not like an Ice Storm where it did it just for or did it to the entire board. It was just for your opponent. So ridiculously overpowered. I think it deserved that nerf down to maximized damaging 1 lane. But once again, this is kind of Beatrice. We saw this in the last one as well with the last alteration of Dragon Aspect, where he's, instead of saying do a blanket amount of damage just to every creature in a lane or to spread it out, he is giving you more control of your shout, which I guess makes more sense in the lore. You're not just shouting into the ether and hoping it hits something. He's saying, I'm giving you the ability to target. So he is increasing the cost from a 1 to a 3, but it is automatically giving you a -3/-3 at 3, which, again, I understand that it's not neutral, so it's not bad to get value, but I think -3/-3, I mean, our fire bolts are 1-cost, 2 removal. But the -3/-3 is a big deal because it doesn't require you to kill the creature. Like, in theory, if you're playing a firebolt, you need it to be able to kill the thing. This one can just render it pretty much impotent. And -3/-3 is a pretty big, a big chunk. So that's significant at level 1. I would say as a 3-cost, it might be well statted. But if it's understated, it's just a wee bit. You get to level 2 where you're doing a total of -6/-6 either to 2 different creatures or just to 1 big one. When you have that kind of flexibility, I think that's incredible value. And then of course, being able to do -9/-9 or a combination of that. I think that's another really, really strong effect. I like the effect. I like the idea that you can target down, that you have more flexibility with it. But I think -3/-3 might be too strong. At a 3-cost, this exact progression, maybe -2/-2, and being able to do that up to 3 times. Again, remembering that shouts can be leveled up with Call Dragon and with word walls. You're not limited to just being able to play a shout level 2 or a shout level 3 one time. You can do it up to 3 times, depending. And then you get Parthenax in the mix. So I think a 3-cost -2/-2 is undervalued to a degree. I mean, it's still very effective, but it's still a little undervalued. I think a 3-cost -4/-4, where you can split that up to 2 different creatures or focus on 1, I think is a value. And I think 3-cost -6/-6 is a really good value. So that would be my take on it. because I don't know that you'd want to go up to a 4 cost. Going from 1 to 3 is a pretty big jump, but -3 is a big deal. Because I think is it Maleficent Reef? Isn't that a -3? I mean, I guess I can look that up too. I mean, why not? I'm already foregoing my professionalism to malevolent Wreath. I don't think it's Malevolent Wreath. I think it's Maleficent Wreath or something. And it didn't even show up, so I'm going to say Maleficent. But isn't that just a Disney villain? I don't know. It is. No, okay, it's a Malefic. There we go. I was right. I was right and I was wrong. And I was wrong again. So Malefic Wreath is a 3 cost, -2. So Beatrice does avoid redundancy, because if my suggestion were to take root, it would be a 3 cost -2. Exactly, which, okay, so maybe you don't want the exact card to do it twice, but that's just the first step of the shouting process. But it is hard to make an argument if you already have a card that does that. And Malefic Wreath does not get played all that much because it is a 3 cost -2. It doesn't get played so much that people think it's called Maleficent Wreath. But anyway, so perhaps that is too strong of a nerf for this potential card. I just think -3 at a 3 cost isn't all that bad, but maybe that's not great. Maybe that's not great. But here's the thing: a 3 cost -2 doesn't get played, but a 3 cost -3. But we want the card to be played, right? So anyway, sorry, the war is raging heavily in my brain. But by default, I guess I would say at this point, having taken into that extra bit of consideration, this would be something, roll it out as is designed by Beatrice, and then if it proves to be too powerful, too strong, then we give it a nerf of some kind. Up the cost, reduce the effect. But it really, you don't want to have a card that does the exact same thing, even if it's part of a sequential effect like this one is, where that's just the first phase. Like I said, I don't know. It's tough. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Beaters, thank you again for jogging my brain and for giving us another way to process an existing shout. It does definitely offer a lot more potential and a lot more range, and but let's be fair. If there is one shout that definitely is not underused, it is Drain Vitality. That is probably one of the most used shouts, if not the most, next to perhaps the Soul Tear. But anyway, it's still good to see a variation on it and what might be. But for now, let us just jump back into the fray with our friends and get you back to the games. Jay Shades, what are you doing? Jay Shades, you must have gotten here by accident. Either that or somebody's commandeered your account, sir, because Jay Shades does not play Elder Scrolls Legends anymore. Like, he has left this game in the dust. He has left us all behind. He's gone on to greener pastures, which probably means they're filled with manure. So take that into consideration. That's how you get green pastures with manure and stuff. But anyway, he's here now, so we forgive his absence from the game, ignoring the directive to keep playing. Which, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'm not playing right now either, so the stench of hypocrisy is very strong. Giggles! Hello, Giggles! We love you, Giggles! I think I've been enjoying your commentary and reviews of the shouts. Excellent, Beaters. I'm glad. I mean, they've been... You've got a lot of fun and thoughtful. There we go. Okay, so Winston Smith playing what looks like the action removal portion of Tribunal. We have seen it. I'm also writing a fantasy book, so maybe I'll become a writer. Oh my gosh, so Arrakis looking to pursue programming, perhaps writing, and also potentially, was it karate? I know he said become second master. Let's see here. We are trading with Giggles. Get her off of there. Let's see. It is Kung Fu, that's it. So Arak is a man of many interests and many talents. I mean, in theory, if he's capable of doing all of those, that is not even a jack of all trades. That would be a master of several trades at least. And so Jay Shade's hesitant to give Winston Smith any cards. Could be a while before he starves him out, but this really is just not a fun game to play in general. It's removal, whether it's removing cards from your opponent's does that mean? I don't know. Deck, or just removing cards from the board. But if anyone can push through and conquer, it is Jay Shades. He does have some big bodies, but I have a feeling we're just going to see a lot more removal coming down. I mean,
I do hope that troublesome knight isn't around.
Aside from maybe an execute, there really isn't anything. Like, he's not in any danger. Razzle-ma-dazzle-ma-dazzle-ma-dazzle-ma-dazzle. Actually, that'd be perfect. He gets to hit face and doesn't even break a rune, and he gets to stick on the board. He will be removed, guaranteed next turn. Razzle-ma-dazzle-ma-dazzle is either going to be banished and cast into time, or have a javelin through his heart. If and when Jay Shades plays it. And of course, that's a wise move, because now the removal, she's a big enough body that it is going to command removal. Which means Razzle-ma-dazzle-ma-dazzle-ma-dazzle has a better chance to stick, which means more cards for Jay Shades, who is not running on Fumes yet. Ice Spike is a draw, but definitely fewer cards than Winston Smith. I started about 4 conversations, and that should mean that he is low on removal, because I don't think you would waste an entire lane removal with that. Okay, so he gets himself a Necromancer, which is a nice card that he wouldn't have. Fingers of the Mountain. I could easily see if that's the only removal Winston has. Okay, he's fingering the first card, and there it is. And Razzle-ma-dazzle-ma-dazzle, cast forever into time, at least until the next game. See, he was holding on to that one this entire time. Now, maybe that was off the mulligan, so he didn't want to keep it around this whole time, but it just happened he did. All the Sanctuary pets are gone. Not really sure why. I don't know if maybe there wasn't anything better. I mean, I don't think Winston Smith is needs to be particularly concerned about those little critters, because he doesn't seem to be eager to go on the offensive anytime soon. Ungulum, it's a thing. It can create draw. We'll count the turns. So how many turns will it take, do you think, before we get our first assassin? I'm going to say put the under over at 4, turn 4, or 4 turns hence. So we'll count them together. Hopefully I can retain this train of thought long enough to be able to do that, to do this. Yeah. Jay Shades has the patience of Job. All right, so 1 turn. This is our first turn. No assassin. Again, under over is at 4. I think it's under 4. Ooh, that just, I mean, that added, I mean, I'm still gonna say within 3 more turns, but that just screwed up the odds. I mean, I don't even know how that would work in an actual betting situation, because we have just really redefined the stakes. We now have double the amount of assassins in the pile. Oh, if we get a Dark Rebirth on that what's her face though, he can banish all of those. All right, nope, just another finger. So he's got a lot of them, but well, I guess you could technically have only 3. And so the irony, the hypocrisy. Removal for me, but not for thee. I'm going to remove all your stuff, but I don't want you to be able to remove mine. I mean, it's not hypocrisy, really. But I mean, you do find it a lot in decks that whatever their theme is, whatever their, they run. It's like I'm trying to think of another example where it's like because they know that their deck is good at doing this, they're hyper focused on making sure no other deck can do that. And so they've got an answer that usually wouldn't really do anything for most decks out there, but it would answer their own deck just because they're thinking, I don't want people to do what I'm doing to them with my deck. I don't want them to be able to do it to me. But I mean, Ogleave, that's just a good card. It's a 7/7 guard for a control deck. It makes a lot of sense. It's just funny where it's like I have nothing but removal in my deck, but I make sure I've got cards in here that, although there's the Odorin something. Wow, all the fingers. Almost a rune break with that. Oh wait, so crap. Are we on turn? I think this is the third turn. I think this is the third one. So yeah, I believe this is the third turn.
Will be ours.
So I guess technically I've already lost the bet, right? I mean, the stakes could never have been higher. Or less non-existent. Or more non-existent. More or less existent. But I would say, my point still stands if it comes up next turn. If not, then it is uncharacteristically slow. For there to be 3 assassins out there and to go 4 turns without finding one, that is abysmal RNG for our friend Jay Shades. He should have found it by now. If Ungolum's normal behavior is any indication, is it really? Yeah, it is. I guess most of the time that I've been doing videos, the refrigerator hasn't been on. But yeah, it just bothers me. It just bothers me. They're bleeding. Don't let up. They're AFK. Don't let up. He doesn't have removal. He doesn't know what to do. Don't let up. Not really sure what's going on. I don't think this is intentional roping, but it could be. It doesn't make any sense that it would be, though. I mean, he's got plenty of cards. The game's not even close to over. He's hovering over the... It looked like he was hovering over it. Who knows? Who knows? But it looks like Jay Shades is going to get a rune break with him, and not the best web home, but certainly not bad. And we'll see if Winston Smith is truly AFK or if he's just... It looks like he might be. So Jay Shades' perseverance may have paid off, not in the traditional sense, but just enough. I mean, obviously you hope his opponent didn't actually have some kind of genuine disconnect or is unable to play, but if he's going to rally... Oof. Wow. Wow. I mean, of course, you know. Oh, no. Okay, so Winston, we see he's rolling over his cards, so he might have for the past 2 turns been indisposed, or maybe I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, we're gonna see another Dawn's Wrath. I mean, the green aura around that card indicates that he's hovering over it, like we're doing now. But I'm not sure why. I mean, the art's pretty cool. That's not bad. All right. Negated.
At the ready.
Okay, so a Firebolt finish off will allow 11 points to get through. And then we got the Ice Spike. So if it just stays like that, Jay Shades has the game locked up. But if he throws down another guard, he's got that Necromancer that could throw down a... Oh, nope. Okay, well, there we go. That just quelled that bit of... Wow. Oh, that's right. The Ancestor's Battle Axe passed on its ancestralness to a Harpy, who is now wielding it to great effect. And Jay Shade's doing the right thing. You draw first, and there's the Brotherhood Assassin. Now, I lost track of the turns. All you following along, we can look back over that. I might, if I can remember to do it, I might Go back and count the amount of turns. Sounds like a lot of work, though. But we'll go back and count and see how many turns past 4 it was. It could have been more than 1 or 2. But even still, like I said, it's double the amount of assassins in there. So even then, it's a little bit slow. And the Harpy, a great pickup because it is denying another smack at the face to give Winston 7 more health and make it a much more difficult situation. Ice Storm does not get it done for him. And we see Jay Shades has Cliff Frazier in the wing. So, I mean, we don't know what how the game would have gone if Winston had been able to play those two. Whatever his reasoning was, I don't think it was voluntary. But he did have to pass on 2 turns where he did miss 2 turns. And so it could be a much, much different game had that not been the case. But, I mean, unfortunately, that is just, I mean, that's life interacting with the game. And it's unfortunate. Jay Shades is an honorable man, and I'm sure he wanted to win facing the best his opponent had to offer. Wow. Interesting call there. I mean, luckily Jay Shades had not lost his assassin. He's got the Cliff Racer, and Dominion Battle Reeve is going to take it home with 1 damage to the face. Look at that, just enough. Wow, what an exhaustive and just magnificent victory there for Jay Shades. I can get to Whirlwind Sprint. Use the updated one. Okay, will do. I'll check the Discord again for it. Okay, let's give Jay Shades a congrats. GG. What a feat of endurance. I meant to have a little bit more emphasis on that. Raxon Friends in a versus match. Let's take a look at Raxon. Another one we have not, another great oldie who we have not seen, and he is making his push as we join the fray. Looks like against Invade, so we are happy to see it. Very, very close to getting ugnipped, but we fortunately.
Speak,
hello?
citizen.
Oh, it's weird. This house creaks, even when things aren't happening inside of it. So let's see. Good job they walked off for 2 turns. That nag was going to be a huge issue. Yeah, could have been very different if not absent 2 turns. Such is the way of things. But yes, I find it ironic when a removal deck plays a card immune to removal. Jay Shades just letting us know that he is the reason why we are seeing him is because seeing him play right now is because he does not have a premium of the monthly reward card in question. Actually, since he's not playing, I don't mind asking, what card is it? Because I'm not sure, and I could hop on a website, but I figure obviously he knows already, so we'll see what it is. And he's opening his loop. We will, let's go ahead and we'll do Arrakis just because, again, I mean, Ashland Punisher. Oh, that's a good one. That is good. That's the 5/4. 5/4 Archer card with Breakthrough and Slay. On Slay and Pilfer, it gets +1, I think, or +2. I don't remember. Give it up.
I'll whip them into shape.
Ooh. Nice.
The Black Hand sees all.
Almost sounds like he says the black can, doesn't it? The black hand, the black can. The black can sees all. It's a very, very insightful can. While most cans can't see very much, this can. I amuse myself. So I don't know what Iraq is. I mean, this is obviously, well, it's a, I mean, I want to say animal deck, but then I see, well, okay, to be fair, Chimera is not in the original deck. I feel bad calling a Khajiit an animal because it has, well, I guess animals have sentience too. They can talk. People talk. It sounds a little funny, but it still counts. Whereas cats, as expressive as they can be with their eyes and their body language, as of yet, I've not met one that can communicate in basic or English or however you want to refer to the language. I was reading a Star Wars book, Expanded Universe, from back in the day. And even though I don't think they actually use the word basic, but that's how the essentially English language is translated, or is what it's called. Alrighty, so happy birthday, Raxon. Playing, oh, I didn't know the knife did that. Did I know the knife did that? No, I don't think I knew the knife did that. Do you guys know the knife did that? Look at that. Whoa. Like I knew, because I always knew these guys did stuff. You know, they color the board, so I don't think I ever bothered. And the scrolls glow. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so easily entertained. Like, yeah, I just thought these were the centerpieces, so I never tested anything else. Look at all this cool stuff that goes on. But anyway, happy birthday, Raxon. Many happy returns. Congratulations on another trip round the sun. That's my typical congratulations, because really, I mean, that's what it is. Where every year we make another successful trip, and so it's different for all of us when that anniversary is. But it's based on, obviously, when we came into the world, we were at a certain place in our relation to the sun. And then, you know, as every time we hit that exact same spot, I guess, I don't know exactly if that's exactly how it works, considering time zones and changes and all that stuff. I don't know that it's actually to the exact day, but in theory, you are returning to the exact same position. Oh, I guess if you move, it's different as well. If you especially if you are out of your country or something like that, you're far enough away that you're almost like a day or half a day behind it. And it's a general principle. It's a general thing. I'm guessing it's within at least a day or two. I don't even know how that works. I just know we revolve around the sun, right? I think that's sort of the thing that happens. But anyway, congratulations. Despite, I mean, you know, there's the thing. I do, obviously, never unhappy to see people playing TESL. But it does seem a little lonely when, you know, I mean, to be fair, though, I don't do squat for my birthday. I've long since given up on the days of celebrating a birthday. I mean, because here in the States, 25 is like the last age where you get another freedom, and it's a really lame one too. It's the age you can actually legally rent a car. Yeah, crazy enough, right? You can join the military at 18, you can smoke at 18, you can drink at 21. I mean, those are kind of the big ones. I'm trying to think of anything else really important. But yeah, 25 is when you can actually rent a car. But after that, there's really no benefit to getting older. It's just the years going by. So it's a Do song again, which I do recall from the last time, since it was in an earlier in this episode, that it was just neither naughty nor nice, just a player. So hopefully it, and he looks like he's still playing the Guildsworn, so we should expect more of the same, I would imagine. Raxon's Summoning Dragon. So this is Guildsworn Dragon, evidenced by the 2 dragons in Guildsworn colors that we see on the board right now. Captain Obvious reporting for duty, sir. But yeah, anyway, whichever, for whatever reason, you brings you to TESL, especially on a day where I can observe, is a happy day. So thank you, Raxon, for jumping on and giving us some games here.
enough to watch your back these days.
There we go. Another life-giving dragoon. Actually, you can't really mispronounce dragon that way because there is a word called dragoon, and I don't know if I've ever seen that they're different in from what I can understand, they're different in pretty much every universe they exist in. They exist in a lot of them. A lot of fantastical universes use. Wow, Raxon really trying to make a push, but just getting stymied by Dusong's vast array of removal. Does he have another? And he does not. Is he going to do the... Yeah, I was going to say Clockwork is the only drain he has left. Hopefully Dusong cannot remove that one as well. Might see Supreme Dragon in the Shadow Lane, just to avoid any more of that giant removal. Yeah. So obviously between those two, Dusong is going to remove the 6/4, even though it's less of a threat. Body-wise, he does not want him draining. I think if Raxon gets one drain off, the whole landscape of the game changes. And they'll almost be tied for points. Raxon will be at 24, and Dusong will be down to 26. So almost equal in health. Dusong with no immediate answer, so it looks favorable for Raxon having at least, well, I should say not at least, but having that 6/4 survive. But that is yet to be seen. It's possible that the same affliction that hit Winston Smith, might have hit Dusong, where it just is unable to play the game for a couple turns. And it could be a thing. We know for a fact that Brave has experienced things like this, where the game just completely locks up. You're not disconnected, but you can't do anything. You can't play any cards. All right, so he casts. So he must have a lightning bolt or something for the other dragon, because he wouldn't leave that alive. Really? He left? Okay. Interesting. And there we go. As I prophesied. And there's another Supreme Dragon. Will it take to the field? By field, I mean the Shadow Lane in the field. Yeah. So I do apologize, folks. This has been a great socializing episode or experience from me on the ladder. A lot of times I'll jump in and don't really hear from anybody, just kind of get to quietly spectate games and go about my business. I had a lot more conversations, a lot more dialogue going on. Always welcome that, but it does mean the only discount, at least for me, or downside, is like I lose my train of thought a lot, which is less than ideal. But I would much rather have the social aspect of it and just have my commentary be garbage, because let's face it, at the time it is, even when I'm not distracted. But it does make me feel more disconnected from the flow of the game, right or wrong. But like I said, I would much rather have that be the case. There we go. I would say the game is decidedly, ooh boy howdy, almost, and he's no stuffs. And with that, there is a prophecy. Not a javelin, not a javelin, not a javelin, not a javelin. It's a javelin. But it gave Raxon a ton of cards, including some reach in that lightning bolt. Although Dusong now has a lot of cards to play, so I wouldn't say we've reset, but ooh, you hate to see Abner get that kind of treatment. I'll teach them to disrespect. Oh my gosh, I didn't even make it into the hand. Oh, I feel so bad. And wow, Raxon with a lightning bolt. That's just something you don't see very often. I used to do that back in the day because I didn't know. And I'm not saying it's inherently wrong to do it, but very rarely do you see people just bolt to the face. I think maybe he was just trying to get rid of the cards, or so he didn't overdraw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, that's barely mighty. Okay, that's devoured. So yeah,
it's not enough to watch your back these days.
What is this? Did he yoink that guy? Because I don't think Dusong is running a dragon deck. I guess he is.
My paws are quicker than your eyes.
But it's like a removal dragon deck or something. I don't know. It's very bizarre. But anyway, it's good. It's good to have the social aspect down. Kind of reminds me of Live at 5. To a degree. But in that one, like I pretty much have abandoned all pretense of I mean, I'll observe the game happily. Oh, so he was running a dragon deck. It just was very heavy, but it's not going to be enough. Okay, it will be enough. Spoke too soon. I mean, he's going to be able to belly G and get that 3 points of damage in, as well as card draw, hopefully to get some more reach. So Dusong is definitely hobbling along at this point. But no doubt, within the many cards of his hand, he has a myriad of possible answers. Gotta admit, folks, I am really thinking about, I think I mentioned it before, there's an Asian market. I'll call it a marketplace, because it's like 3 strip malls all in this like square kind of configuration with an Asian market smacked out in the middle and like 3 restaurants inside of that Asian market. I'm really craving some rice crackers right now. Really craving. And some gimbap. Oh, that would be so good. But I would have to drive in not happy traffic during rush hour. So probably not going to happen. Oh.
It's not enough to watch your back these days.
Okay, well then what do you suggest, sir? My back. I couldn't watch it. I don't know, I sound like Red from... I'm coming... Wait, no, is that him? I don't know that I've ever seen... I don't think I've seen a full episode of Sanford and Son? Sanford and Son? I don't know. I think that was before my... Oh, I know it was before my time, but I don't know how far. I think... Was that in the 70s? I think it was. I remember seeing like reruns or basic reruns. Like I remember seeing the Jeffersons and stuff, but I don't remember. Wow. And he also has a wildfire. His is actually going to get a kill. And Dusong, if he knows what's good for him, he's going to... Okay, I was going to say he probably should smack the face. Set him up for a lethal next turn, but he did not do that. And so his own wildfire is going to come down as a big old 9 body, as it's going to get 2 kills upon its entrance. And he could Shrieking Harpy just to ensure that he's not going to get attacked. Oh no, sorry, 8. Does it come down as a 6/6? Fire Anger is the effect. I guess he does come down as a 6/6. Then he got 2 kills. So that makes him an 8/8 by my math count. Okay, so either looking for answers and or, which I mean is Ice Storm isn't good enough. Oh gosh, he has the removal. I mean, so Raxon does have, he's got his Harpy.
It's not enough to watch your back these days.
Oh, he's gonna have to use Rapid Shot, Ice Storm, and Harpy to clear out all those threats. There we go, Harpy, and then he can do Discerning Thief. So he'll have 5 points of damage on the board. Never mind. Doesn't have to worry about it. Board is clear. He can use his Harpy to shackle down something and then play Blood Dragon. And he can put some big bodies down next turn, but he has to be able to handle whatever Dusong could play if he's got...
Protect our stronghold.
Oh boy. What else has he got? Okay. I mean, that's lethal right there, but again, the Harpy is going to be a big deal. And now Dusong is down. More than likely is not going to have the answer, the way to get rid of stuff. So we want to see Blood Dragon come down. And he does have enough magic for it. And there we go. The problem is he doesn't have a way to get through the guard. So, well, he does have lethal in that shadow lane. So unless Dusong has a guard or removal this game, or, I mean, another prophecy. Oh boy. Unless he has reach. I mean, there's so many things. There's lightning bolts. There's all kinds of stuff that can happen, but Dusong's hesitation. Either he's basking in the glory of his pending victory, or he does not have an answer for that board, and this is going to go to the birthday boy, Raxon. Bated breath, folks.
They're in my sights.
Ice Orb.
You cannot hide.
That's not good. That's not good. Oh, come on, Guildsworn Apprentice. Come on, Guildsworn Apprentice. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. Smack him in the face and throw it down. Just big enough to take out Odoving. It's the only play, and you have just enough Magicka for it. Oh my gosh. The only question is, can Dusong play 2 cards that can't be answered by Raxon? Is he gonna nuke it without hitting face? That's probably what he's debating right now. Do I give him that extra card, or do I just let it go at this and hope? Oh, it's tough though. Because, you don't want to give him that extra card, but it means that a lightning bolt is lethal. And he does not go that route. So he does find a way to stave off death, but it leaves him with no answer. If Dusong can... we're hoping he only has tiny bodies, but if he's got one big body, this could be the end. Okay, that's... All right, that's not enough. Okay, all right. So this is it. This is it. This is the turn. Does Dusong have the reach? Does he have the reach? The reach is ours. Or is it not? I guess the reach is ours. Yeah, that's some weird accent. It would be fitting. Oh no! She can throw whatever she wants. What is she gonna pull? He's got the ring. He's gonna pull the bolt. He's got enough for the bolts. No. Does he break?
They won't get a drop on me.
Oh, yep. And Raxon knows it too. Oh, that sucks.
A hard-fought victory.
So Dusong was able to get what he needed in Lyneth. And unfortunately, Raxon is going to fall to the bolt. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Yep. Ring difference. Man. Oh, you hate to see it end like that. And as heartbreaking as it is to end on that note, unfortunately, that is just how life goes. It is not fair. Oh, it is not great. That's just... It's one of those games where it just comes down to who draws the late game stuff at the right time. Opponent can draw 1 or 2 drops just as easily, but you drop an Odoving, and then it's just a thing. That's just how the game goes. Unfortunately, we had to bear witness to it. Still a really great game, well fought by both sides. It really just did, in this particular case, come down to the top deck. And with that, we will leave this battlefield for the time being. And I will see you all next time. And until then, are you waiting for it? I don't know if you're waiting for it. Does anybody wait for this? Anybody actually at this point of the video? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But anyway, keep playing.